So I'm here today with George Khoury from Attendible, and thank you for having me into the office.
Well, it's great to chat with you.
Great, yeah, we want to...
Thanks for the opportunity.
Oh yeah, of course, thank you. So we want to start and talk about, tell me what Attendible is and what you do.
So Attendible is a local social calendar that lets you discover amazing events. It's all open, it's community-based, people start liking event and they start trending on our calendar. So it's a really great way if you're planning to do something on the weekend to see what's happening, what's trending, what's fun. And also you can follow an interest or a venue on Attendible. So you can follow a photography board and then you know all the events that's happening around photography. Or you could follow Triple Door or the Crocodile and see all the events that's happening there. You can go into the feed of, we have hashtags too, so you can get into a feed of events. Let's say 4th of July happening now.
Sure.
And then you can know all the events related to 4th of July. So it's just a fun way to discover new things to do and interesting events.
So then the popular events by venue or by time period or by hashtag will float to the top and you'll see those because they're more popular.
Exactly. And all of it's based on likes. So you can like an event and this is how they kind of bubble up to the top.
Excellent. So it seems like there's a lot of functionality there, right? There's a lot of opportunity for somebody to find different events, interesting events in different ways. From a technical perspective, it sounds like that's a lot of work to put that together. Did you start out by building all of that into the product, or where did you start and how did you get here?
No, actually we started, our first part was, our first release was the events and the capability to discover them. Then you start getting feedback, we start kind of rediscussing our scenarios. Then we added support for boards, which is the venues, so a triple door board.
Sure.
So this is how we ended up grouping a couple of events into a board. This was our second big release, and after that we got feedback somebody is creating a tech event, and they wanted to be kind of in a tech feed.
Sure.
So based on this feedback, which started like that, hey, I want to be in the tech feed.
Right.
We started talking about hashtags, and we added support to hashtags. So it was kind of, very iterative. So we started with some release, we got a bit of feedback, we tried to connect a couple of scenarios, then we went to a second release, and etc.
Right. So how did you get that feedback? And from whom were you gathering that feedback?
We got two part of feedback. Some feedback we got it through venues, and most of our feedback came through end users. Okay. End users two part. People we know, people in the surf, people we work with every day, our friends, and feedback through email. The most valuable feedback we got are people that were planning to create events.
Sure.
And because they were sitting there, they were trying to create events, and they kind of wanted to share their events to everybody in the city.
Sure.
And their feedback was really great. And usually whenever we kind of get a set of related feedback, we end up kind of connecting them together and schedule a release for them and push it to production.
Sure. So it sounds like you're getting feedback from multiple channels. And it sounds like you're getting quite a bit of feedback.
Yeah.
How do you decide, okay, this is the feature or this is the design that we're going to pursue, given the feedback?
A lot of times, we try to look at, data, or we try kind of to make sense of where this feedback is related to what we are doing. But a lot of time is just common sense. It would be why don't we have that? Why
Sure.
don't we have all the related events in a board? Why don't we allow people to put up hashtags so we can discover related events or
Sure.
related people around those hashtags? So mostly it's something on being wow, this is we need to do that. This would be really valuable for the users.
This is the natural fit. It just seems like it's
exactly. It's mostly common sense. And we kind of discuss those new features, and most of the time is like there's kind of consensus or unanimity, like, hey, this is something that we need to do. And this is another sign that like that's something,
Sure.
that's another like kind of confidence that
Right.
that looks like the right thing to do.
Sounds like you're following your gut as well.
Exactly. Part of it is also, yeah, that's part of it too.
Sure, good. So if I'm somebody with an idea and I'm watching this video on Started in Seattle, where would, given your experience with Attendible, where would you say that person should start in going and building their idea out?
Well, first is to do progress on the idea. That's really important. And by progress could be different things, but work on it. Like, don't keep it on the abstract idea level, because any small action on the idea, as we talked before, between feedback, between learnings, between discoveries, would push the idea to the next level.
Sure.
So one first thing is really to kind of work on the idea, and this is like the maybe the biggest important thing. Second part is doing as much of research as possible. If you want to start building, leverage open source. GitHub is an amazing resource. If you want to start pushing things to production, leverage the crowd. There's no need to kind of rebuild servers and rebuild network connectivity. Leverage the cloud as much as possible. Build up a very solid team. That's another part.
Sure.
An idea could be really interesting, but whenever it goes to the test of discussions between a team that works really well together, that would definitely enrich the idea and would increase the chance of turning this idea into something more concrete.
Sure.
So work with a good team, a strong team. This is also something I would advise.
Sure. So work with a strong team, leverage the cloud, use open source, and it sounds like have a bias for action. Just go out there and do it, right? Don't talk about it in the abstract. Go out there and you'll find out a lot about even your idea just by going out there and pushing the idea forward.
Exactly. Part of, start like a bias for action would kind of, would let you to discover different patterns, would let you to discover APIs, would let you discover new people that work in this domain.
Sure.
That would be kind of an intro for the team. So a bias for exactly. So yeah, a bias for action. That's a good way to describe it. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, it seems like Attendible has that bias for action. I see you guys growing, on all the social networks that I follow. So. Congratulations on a great product, and thanks for inviting me in today.
Thanks, and it was a great chat.